Welcome to this episode of Motivational Moments, where we take just a few moments to uplift and edify you using the Word of God. Today, we're going to be looking at Psalm 19, and we're going to be looking at the first two verses in Psalm 19, and I'm going to be reading out of the New American Standard Bible, the NASB. Psalm 19, verses 1 and 2. Let's go ahead and read that, and then let's talk about it. The heavens are telling of the glory of God, and their expanse is declaring the work of his hands. Day to day pours forth speech, and night to night reveals knowledge. So Psalm 19 talks about the fact that the heavens declare the glory of God. And really, what I wanted to make application for you today is we just had this solar eclipse recently. And a total solar eclipse, the totality of everything aligning perfectly, somewhere around 375 years to 400 years, depending on what sources you're looking at. But quite a rare event, let's say, for that to happen. And of course, there's a lot of different timelines that depend on different states and different parts of the world. But when you look at the amount of people that most recently looked at this solar eclipse, in terms of the people that were directly in the path, there are millions of people that were directly in the path. And the amount of people that would have been able to see and to observe something, I mean, you're talking about hundreds of millions of people that would be looking at this solar eclipse in some shape, form, or fashion. And what I find so interesting about this solar eclipse is the fact that Psalm 19 tells us that the heavens declare the glory of God. Day to day pours forth speech, and night to night reveals knowledge. It's quite amazing, really, when you're thinking about these things, and you're thinking, the amount of people that would have looked forward to this event, the amount of people that would have gotten like special glasses, would have made little special things, that they could look through to see this solar eclipse. The amount of people that waited and that just kind of went out to parks that you could observe, that went out to parks to just relax and watch over time the solar eclipse take place. All kinds of people from all walks of life, all over the place, were looking at this event and looking toward this event. And what I find so beautiful about that is that this event declares the glory of God. It does, and the Bible speaks about it in Psalm 19. It's very interesting that it speaks about that. And there's all kinds of application that we could make about this, but I think the application that I'd really like to leave you with today in this moment, this motivational moment, is to just really look up more. Literally, like look up more when you are outside, when you're walking around, when you're in your day-to-day life. When you walk outside, maybe just look up at the sky, observe the clouds. If it's nighttime, observe the stars. Hey, even at night, if you're in a pretty dark area, if you're out in the in an area where it's maybe remote, is probably best when there's not as much light. But if you can get into a place where there's not as much light, maybe even your driveway, lay out a blanket one night, and on a clear night where the clouds are out of the way, just observe the stars and see what's up there. We spend so much time in our lives either looking down at the ground or looking exactly at what's ahead of us, and for good reason in many cases. You certainly want to be doing that when you're driving, but we spend so much time observing the things that are really eye level and below for us, and we don't spend as much time looking above. And if we look above, we can constantly be reminded by sunsets, by cloud formations, by the stars and the constellations that exist out there. We're constantly being able to be reminded of the heavens declaring the glory of God. It's really a beautiful thing, and it's really a motivating thing and an uplifting thing to be able to walk outside at night on a clear night, look at the stars, and just think, wow, I can't believe God, made this and allowed us to be here and observe these things and left his fingerprints everywhere for us to be able to see the beauty that he has left, and for us to be able to appreciate that, for those things to be able to move us and make us feel a certain way. It's really a beautiful thing. So that's what we have for today. I hope you enjoyed this motivational moment. I look forward to seeing you next time. We'll see you.